సార్ మీ దగ్గర మీ దగ్గర గణేష్ సార్ ఇంకా అభిలాష్
Well, hello and good evening. Welcome back to the Hospital Premier League Season 10 match number 20, powered by KAMADENU, co-sponsored by Credit Buzz. And for the evening, I have both the team captains with me. From Liv Young, it's Dr. Kanaya, and from Stallions, it's Dr. Mahinder. Who's going to spin the coin? It's Mahinder who's going to spin the coin from Stallions, to be called by Dr. Kanaya from Liv Young. Heads is the call straight away. And tails it is. So Stallions are one toss. What have you decided?
We're going to go in first.
Any particular reason behind it, sir?
No particular reason. As their stronger side, we just want to restrict them to the low score, and we'll try to chase it down.
Now comes the trickiest question. Change in a field, change in a plan.
There are so many changes that are already entered in the tricky.
I said thank you, all the best. Pretty fortunate to lose toss.
Not really, it's part of the game. Loss is not the one which decides the match. We're all together.
I think you guys decide to bat first if you have one toss, right?
I would have voted.
Nice. Any change in your field?
Almost playing the same 11. Just that Dr. Krishnan sir is not available. Dr. Green will be joining us.
That's all. Thank you. All the best. It's Stallions who have won toss for the match number 20, and they have decided to bowl first. We'll be right back with the action. Thank you. Well, hello and good evening each and everyone for the viewers of Hospital Premier League Season 10. For the match number 20, it's Liv Young versus Stallions. Early on, Stallions have won toss and they have decided to bowl first. To start the things off, captain straight away into the attack. Coming over the wicket to both his openers Ram Mohan and Giri. Right, first ball, right on the slot. Gets off the mark at the very first ball, Ram Mohan. So first runs on the board for Liv Young. Bowled him, you beauty. Mahinder strikes. Giri has to walk back without scoring. First wicket for Liv Young falls. Beautiful piece of bowling from Mahinder. Gets an angle and angle to perfection, hitting the leg stump. And the Bales goes for a walk there. An early strike for Mahinder. He gets off the mark. Straight into the column of just second ball he has bowled. And of Liv Young are 1 for 1. Well, in comes the new batter, Kannaya, captain, straight into the attack to face the captain. Well, captain to captain. An early call to get Kannaya into the crease. First over, a second ball is what Giri has been dismissed by Dr. Mahinder. Captain to captain, catches the call, outside edge. And that goes to the fence, the brand new HPL ball goes to the fence. Fortune favors the brave, edges and edges to the perfection. Well, Kannaya gets off the mark, the captain of Liv Young.
Upish, and that goes to the fence once again from the bat of Kanaya. Captain is leading from the front. Second boundary already in the over. 11 with the loss of 1 after 1 over. Well, with Dr. Mahinder, it's Dr. Srikanth Nair who's going to share the brand new white ball. 4 for 16 is his best so far in this format of game. To face Ram Mohan and the captain of Liv Young HPL, Kannaya. First ball by Srikanth. That's beaten both the keeper and so does the batsman too. Couple of runs is what needed, but nevertheless they settles for a single, which allows Kannaya to hold his strike. Second over. Gone to perfection. Second wicket falls for Liv Young. Ram Mohan has to walk back. Srikanth strikes early on in his very first over. Well, both the bat bowlers, Mahinder and Srikanth, straight into the wickets column. Picked each wicket in their first over itself. They are on a driving seat now. 14 with the loss of 2. Liv Young. They are in deep trouble now. Lost both the batters, both the openers. Well, in comes the new batter, Karthik, in at number 4. He gets off the mark straight away at the very first ball he has faced. Now Karthik has to stick to the basics and put some runs on the board with the partnership with the captain. which leads Liv Young for a respectable base. An aggressive intent from Kanaya. Nevertheless, 5 balls, 2 boundaries for this man. He's leading from the front. 16 on the board. 11 comes straight away from the bat of Kanaya. So 90% this man is leading. Flicks to the perfection. That goes to the fence. Third boundary, right from the middle of the bat. This time from Kanaya. He's using the power play pretty well from the middle of the bat this time. He pulls all with his ability and playing to the perfection. This man, execution at its best. Liv Young, captain Kanaya. Full shot unoffered. That goes to the fence. Well, a second boundary, 2 in 2 for Kanaya. This man is dealing only with boundaries now. Enough of defense. Enough made. I'm gonna hit those all the boundaries and sixes. Says by Kanaya with that shot. A statement straight away to the dugout. Well, a single followed by those 2 beautiful boundaries from Kanaya. So single to finish the over. 26 with the loss of 2 after 2 overs. Outside edge, once again the ball wins the race. Well, fortune favors the brave for Kanaya. Liv Young with that boundary gets 30. Standing way far away from the popping crease just to negotiate the swing from Mahinder. And succeeding really well. Well, captain to captain. Now an upper hand goes to Kanaya. Liv Young, captain. He moves to 24 with just 9 deliveries he has faced. 5 boundaries in it. Beautiful piece of hitting from this man. Has no clue where to bowl for this man. Just a tap. Opens the blade. Nevertheless, a protection there for a dot. A rare dot ball as we can see when Kanaya is batting. Up in the air, catches the call. He gets his man. Captain picks. Dr. Mahinder picks Kanaya. A beautiful knock comes to an end. A short little stay. Nevertheless, 10 balls, 24. Flying start has been given by the captain Kanaya for the Liv Young. It's 24 with just 11 balls has faced. Now Kanaya has to walk back. It's 30 with the loss of 3. We are in the third over. Second wicket for Mahinder 2. Well, in comes the new batter Anil KR with just touching 2,500 runs. Quite experienced campaigner for Liv Young. That he need to stick to the basics and put some runs on the board for Liv Young HPL. A danger leave to face his very first ball with Dr. Mahinder. Well, in fact, he's given 15 runs and picked a couple of wickets. Nevertheless, wickets are what they are targeting for. Stallions 11. Well, a couple of dot balls to finish the over. 4 runs and a wicket. So straight away, Stallions are leading now. They are in a driving seat. It's 30 with a loss of 3 after 3 overs. Well, lots of 3 on the scoreboard. Srikanth Nair to continue. Gone. First ball. Dr. Karthik has to walk back. Plump in front. First ball wicket for Srikanth Nair. He gets a couple of wickets once again. Well, 2 wickets shared, 4 wickets shared by both these bowlers, Dr. Mahinder and Dr. Srikanth Nair so far. Now it's Karthik has to walk back by just scoring 1 run. Quite early dismissals by all these batters of Liv Young. 30 with the loss of 4. We are in the 4th over. 4 wickets have been gone too early. Well, in comes the new batter to join. One of the new batter has just faced 3 deliveries by Anil. So now in at 5, it's Gunda. Now Liv Young were in deep trouble. These 2 batters need to stick to their basics and put some runs on the board. Build some partnership which gets Liv Young for a respectable score, if I'm not wrong. Well, a slight hesitation there from the man Gunda, as he forgot his helmet, and followed by the man with jersey number 23 gets a helmet for him, the brand new SG helmet. Well, a hook shot hasn't came from the middle of the bat. That falls short at the no man's vacant area, which brings Gunda to get off the mark with that single, followed by another batter, Anil. Both the new batters. So Anil hasn't opened his account, has just faced 3 deliveries so far. Right, runs is not required for Liv Young. They need to stick to the basics. Stop giving those wickets and put a partnership with the singles and boundaries. Beaten there, beaten completely. Further touch edges and straight into the hands of keeper there of Stallions. Second wicket falls for Shrikant Naik in this over itself. It's Anil has to walk back without troubling the score. He goes for a duck. A 4-ball duck for this man. Shrikant strikes once again. 3 wickets under his name in the wickets column. Half of the team of Liv Young has been into the dugout. It's 31 with a loss of 5. We are just in the 4th over. Well, in comes the new batter, Sriman Reddy. Now in at number 6 for Liv Young, it's Sriman Reddy, budding cricketer, a youngster, walks in where the team is in deep trouble now. Shrikant Naik. Here go, hint of swing there as we can see, a slip in place, quite an aggressive field setup as we can see. No man has left the 30-yard circle, just a short third man goes back, that's it. Everyone were in the circle, putting all other efforts, which leads to get 5 wickets right in the power play itself. Well, for the last ball, Shrikant Naik to Sriman Reddy. Tap there, quite in a comprehensive way. Well, a dot ball to finish the over. Just 1 run and a couple of wickets in Shrikant Naik's second over. After 5 wickets, it's 31. After 4 overs, Liv Young has scored 31 with the loss of 5. Once again, it's Mahinder to continue, creating that angle, just like Mitchell Starc does for Australia, the left-hand fast bowler. His first wicket just reminds me of Mitchell Starc bowling in the Ashes at the very first ball, hitting the leg stump straight away at the very first ball.
नीचे है भाई, बंद करने का गए।
Catches the call straight into the hands of fielder. The deep extra cover fielder gets a man. Gunda has to walk back. A 6th wicket falls for Liv Young, a 36 with the loss of 6. Mahendra strikes a last ball of his 3rd over. Coming from over the wicket, this time Mahendra. As that was the ball to hit, but nevertheless that hit him on the toe, straight into the hands of point. Well, 36 with the loss of 6 after 5 overs. Well, in at number 7 is Jai Kishore Reddy, who's joined Sriman Reddy there. And for the last over of the power play, Srikanth Naik once again continuing his bowling spell, taking all the experience and efforts to dismiss the Liv Young batters. This Kanaya was a bit impressive so far in Liv Young batters, and nevertheless each and everyone has been dismissed just in a single digits. Now Srikanth Naik, Sriman Reddy on strike for the last over of the power play. Catches the call, takes the man straight into the hands of Kiran, the only man at a square leg. Well, a bouncer and a strategy works pretty brilliantly by Srikanth Naik. Well, he gets his 4th wicket right in the 3rd over itself. 36 with the loss of 7 after Sriman Naik Reddy's dismissal. We are just in the power play. What's happening with Liv Young batters? Sriman hasn't opened his account, gone for a duck. which brings Ashwin to join Jai Kishore Reddy. Both the new batters once again have all the responsibilities, the middle order batters of Liv Young. 3 ducks so far for Liv Young batters. Firstly, the opener Giri goes for a duck, followed by Dr. Karthik. And now Sriman Reddy has to walk back once again. 3 ducks, followed by Anil too, the wicket keeper of Liv Young. As we can see, that was a beautiful catch, bowled to perfection, a short ball. Plan works for Stallions, as we can see there, 36 with the loss of 7. We are in the power plays last over. Well, power play have been done and dusted by Stallions bowlers. Right after the power play, it's Mahinder once again to continue his last over of this innings. Starts with the dot ball hitting straight to the pads, but nevertheless, Mahinder, captain, leading from the front, has picked 3 wickets early on. He's into his last over. The Mitchell Stark of Stallions. Well, a couple of dots to start his last over. Touchwood, these guys are going in their way. Picked 7 wickets right in the power play itself. Uphill straight away. Hand raises by umpire. Angle created by Mahinder gets his 4th wicket. 44 with the loss of 8. Liv Young were in deep trouble, as I need to mention. It's Ashwin who has to walk back. 8 wickets have been fallen of just 7 overs. What's happening for Liv Young? Pretty calm and silent dugout, as I need to mention there. Well, the 9th man of Liv Young HPL, in comes Dr. Harshad. That came in, as I need to mention. Pretty well angle created decently from that man. Now Harshad on strike. Uphill straight away and gets his man. Well, 2 in 2. Harshad, first ball duck, has to walk back. Beautiful bowling display by this man. Mahinder, he gets his 4th wicket. In fact, that was his 5th wicket, a 5-wicket haul from this man. Mahinder, he's leading his dream innings now. Beautiful bowling display, as I need to mention. Plumb in front. Arshad has to walk back, just faced a ball. A pretty disappointing way, and he's not happy with his dismissal though. But nevertheless, that was straight hitting the leg stump, middle and leg, if I need to mention. Created that angle pretty well. A beautiful piece of bowling. This man that hit him right front of the pad onto the toes. Yes, sir, that's out. Well, 5 wickets for this man. Last wicket for Liv Young. Batter walks in. Duck for Arshad. In fact, the 4th or might be the 5th duck in this innings by all these batters. 5-wicket holes. Congratulations, Dr. Mahinder gets 5 wickets. Beautiful bowling, as I need to mention. Nevertheless, of IPL International Premier League, as I need to mention, beautiful bowling display from the captain who's leading from front of Stallions. Well, a last ball wicket comes to an end of the Mahinder's last over, and which brings Srikanth last over for Srikanth. 2 slips and a gully. As I need to mention, a beautiful test setup for Srikanth. Aggressive intent of fielding setup by Stallions. Last man. Dana Reddy walks in for Jay Kishore Reddy. And Srikanth Nayak just 1 wicket short of 5-wicket hole. Well, leg byes are signaled stylishly by umpire. Left all alone by Jai Kishore. Well, both these bowlers I need to mention Shrikant Nayak and Dr. Mahinder. These two bowlers were the courtesy of 46 with the loss of 9 for Liv Young. They have been exceptional. Well, living dangerously, Jai Kishore Reddy. Courtesy 9 wickets shared by both these bowlers. Just 2 bowlers have dislocated each and every batter. 9 wickets have been taken by both these bowlers, Dr. Mahinder and Dr. Shrikant Nayak. Well, a couple of balls to finish both these bowlers' spell, and so does Shrikant Nayak's too. Once again, left all alone. 2 slips and a gully straight away for Shrikant Nayak to Jai Kishore Reddy. As we can see, just a couple of runs at the very second ball of the 4th over, and nevertheless followed by all the 3 dots in a row. Last ball of the 8th over, and so does Shrikant Nayak's last ball. 2 slips, 1 gully in place. Appeal straight away, hitting the pad. Huge appeal. Going down, says the umpire. Well, with that dot, just hitting the pad, but nevertheless umpire says that's going down the leg. So beautiful bowling display comes to an end as Shrikant Nayak settles with 4 wickets of just 23 deliveries in his spell so far. It's 46 with the loss of 9 after 8 overs. The one change bowler catches the call straight away. Very first ball. And that goes for a maximum, if I'm not wrong. Well, a one change bowler comes in straight away with the 6 over covers. A maximum to start his bowling. Followed by a huge uphill there. Nevertheless, not out from the umpire. So 6 followed by a dot now Vamshi. given flight, more than flight, what it requires. Upish in the air, gets only a comfortable single. Wide long off, wide long on, deep mid wicket, extra covers, and a cow corner to be precisely for Vamshi. Well, time for spin this time. Now starts with a single followed by a dot, and so does a single. Aerial this time couldn't get the contact off the ball. Now, well, a last wicket is what required for Stallions. With that, 653 on the board for Liv Young. Powerful shot down the ground, right from the middle of the bat, Jai Kishore. But now these two guys are fighting till the end, as I need to mention. Of Liv Young, last batsman, and so does the number 7 batsman Jai Kishore. Was in the air for so long time. Long on fielder, he be the spectator. That goes way far away, 10 miles away, in fact 10 yards away from the boundary line for a 6. Well, a 6 to start his bowling, and followed by a 6 to finish his first over. It's 60 with the loss of 9 after 9 overs. Now that brings a former captain, jersey number 1, Kiran Kumar. Spins at a time from both the angles, both the sides. Well, Kiran Kumar hasn't freed his body. Starts with a wavered line for a wide down the legs. And also I can see a hint of turn. Well, turn and bounce for this man. Can he gets a last man and gets into a wickets column straight away at the very first over by Kiran Kumar. But nevertheless, Jai Kishore, a short-term jab in action there. Pretty good decent bounce from Kiran Kumar at the very first ball by him. Gets off the mark by Jai Kishore Reddy. Now Dana Reddy once again gets off the mark. So single rotation is what these guys have been doing since last over. After Srikanth and Mahendra's beautiful piece of spell. Right on the back foot, just a tap there. Chance of a run out at the bowling end, and nevertheless quick running between the wickets by Jai Kishore Reddy, and so does Dana Reddy. So 3 balls, 3 singles. Runs getting comfortably for these two batters. Tries for a slog sweep, a fancy shot. Couldn't pick the ball. Straight into the hands of keeper. Well, so far 4 balls and 4 runs have been conceded by Kiran Kumar. Quick running between the wickets. Well, last ball of the over, and so does the credit buzz end. Comes to an end with a dot ball. Now for the rest of action, would-be starts from the Kamadenu estate end, and now it's time for drinks. 65 with the loss of 9 after 10 overs. Now time for drinks. Well, from the Kamadenu estate, and straight away it's Anurag who's coming from round the wicket to get that angle. Nevertheless, starts with a single. Dana Reddy. Just a leg glance. The ball's racing to the boundary. So single followed by a couple of runs at the very first over from the Kamadenu estate's end, and so does the bowling of Anurag. And in comes Kiran Kumar with his second over from the Kamadenu estate end. As we can see, the partnership is slightly building for the Liv Young. 69 on the board so far with the loss of 9 wickets. They've been in a promissory start by both these batters, Jai Kishore and Dana Reddy. In the vacant area, 2 is the call straight away. In fact, they gets 3 and settles for a couple of runs. Kiran Kumar Reddy trying to take that LBW right from the angle, but nevertheless runs are flowing for Liv Young so far. Good partnership by both these batters, the last man and so does the 7th wicket batter Jai Kishore Reddy. After that huge crash of batting lineup by Liv Young, now these two batters were in a promising start, putting runs on the board by each and every ball, running hard, putting all their blood and sweat to get those runs onto the board for Liv Young to get into a respectable score. Well, a dot ball to finish the over. 72 with the loss of 9. Liv Young. 3 runs coming off that over by Kiran Kumar, which brings Anurag once again to continue his second over. Has been given 4 runs previously in his very first over. Well, these two batters were in a comfortable position, getting all those singles pretty easily. Dana Reddy and Jai Kishore Reddy has to be mentioned. These guys are doing for the team, and these runs were meant to be valuable runs while chasing for Stallions. Chance of run out, and straightly that goes to the third umpire. Well, TV umpire to director, we have a review for stumping, in fact for run out. Well inside the popping crease before dislocating the stumps by keeper. Well, with that single, a paper score between both these batters. Paper score partnership between Dana Reddy and so does Jai Kishore Reddy. Nice quick running between the wickets. As I need to mention, they are getting the singles pretty easily. So single to finish the 13th over. It's 75 with a loss of 9. Cuts and cuts it to the perfection there. Protection, Mahinder, captain. Well, gets a couple of runs with that throw. As I've mentioned earlier on, runs are getting pretty comfortably by both these batters. A chance of a run up there. Huge appeal by the keeper, and so does the fielders too. Well, chance of a run up there. Now TV umpire to director. We have a review for a run out from the batting end. I have checked the no ball. Has given a good flight to the ball. Good amount of flight. Backward point fielder. Throws like an arrow. Straight into the hands of keeper. Well, it looks way into the crease. In the time, this man Dhana Reddy not out, says the third umpire, which brings Stallions to wait for the last wicket to be dismissed. Now these two batters were in a comfortable position. Nice running between the wickets. In the slot, up and over the Vujian and the cricket ground, straight onto the road, that hits to perfection. Beautifully played for a maximum there. Dhana Reddy hitting from the middle of the bat. No chance for the fielders, all be the spectators for the lot of time, as that was right on the slot. Slog sweep and swept to the perfection. Beautiful piece of execution there from that man Dhana Reddy on the busy roads of Hyderabad. That goes. In the air, catches the call. Beautiful stop there from the fielder. Pulled the ball back into the game. Lovely stretch. There was a lovely stop from the fielder at deep cow corner. Saved a couple of runs for his team. Nevertheless, beautiful stop. We can see in an action replay. Came onto the ball beautifully. Stops the ball. Pulls back with that beautiful arm. Lovely execution of fielding, as we can say. Well, a single to finish the over. 87 with the loss of 9 after 14 overs. Once again, Kiran Kumar to continue his third over. For the 15th over, Kiran Kumar starts with a dot ball. Very teasing delivery to Jai Kishore. Turn and kept low. Mahinder Reddy traces the bullet. Beautifully stopped there. Almost covered 25 yards. Nevertheless, to pull the ball back into the game. Quick running between the wickets, succeed there. A direct hit is what required, and he delivers the direct hit, but nevertheless he be in the popping crease. Catches the call. Captain Mahinder under it. Puts it down. Has no clue where the ball is. Nevertheless, chance to create beautifully by Kiran Kumar. Also to be mentioned, nice running between the wickets. Good presence of mind. Gets a couple of runs, which brings Dana Reddy onto the strike. Shot to perfection. That was gone and gone miles up in the air, straight into the flyover of Hyderabad. Third six of the match for this man from his bat, Dana Reddy, big man. And nevertheless, beautifully displayed there. That was right onto the flyover. As I need to mention, the busy flyover to the airport, the Shamshabad RGIA airport flyover, and that goes. Dana Reddy dispatched it, the white ball to the airport road, and says the ball to fly away. Well, he's hitting with no mercy, anything short, anything wide. Big man striking pretty decently. Long handle comes into the play. With that wide 100 on the board for Liv Young. Nevertheless, beautifully played by both these batters. At the time it was 44 with the loss of 9. Beautiful partnership between these two batters. 53 is what they have scored in a partnership. They're putting all their blood and sweat to get the decent runs on board, which brings a triple digit 100 with the loss of 9 after 15 overs. Good recovery for Liv Young HPL team, as I need to mention. Anurag to continue. Coming round the wicket to create some angle for the final wicket. Liv Young batters Dhana Reddy and Jai Kishore Reddy. Showcasing the talent pretty beautifully as we can see. Well, that was a good recovery in the end, getting almost 55 runs on the board without losing a wicket. They have been trying since almost 8.5 overs to get dismissed the last man for just wicket. Stallions were struggling like anything, but nevertheless these two batters showcasing all the talent, hitting those short balls, hitting those fuller length deliveries to the maximums from the bat of Dhana Reddy, and followed by Jai Kishore Reddy with all those cheeky shots down the ground, putting nice and decent start for the team. Straight in the air, way miles far up in the air, in the black sky. And the wide long on fielder takes the catch. Dhana Reddy, big man. Last wicket to be falls for Liv Young. 101 all out. Anurag strikes, finally gets a wicket. Last wicket falls for Liv Young. It's 101. Appreciation straight away from Stallion team for the last batter, Dhana Reddy and Jai Kishore Reddy so far. Well, a pretty decent comeback and a setback of 101 by Liv Young. In a reply, Stallions need 102 in 20 overs. We'll be back with the chase. Hello and welcome back with the chase of Stallions. 102 is what they required. Both the batsmen, Srinath and Sharath, openers of Stallions, to face Sharath. Straight down the ground. 3-second ball gets off the mark. Srinath. First runs on the board for Stallions with that beautiful shot down the ground for a single. Well, Sharath off the mark with that single of the very last ball. The first over, Stallions have scored 2 after 1 over. In comes Kanaya straight away. Captain bowling the second over of the match. Just 100 runs is what required for Stallions to face Kanaya for Liv Young. Captain leading from the front right with the bat, and so does the ball too. Short off length delivery. Sharath on strike. A left-hand batter. Driven comfortably. 2 is the call. 2 gets comfortably. As I can see the aggression straight away from Kanaya. Gets a couple of runs in the second and the third ball itself. Short ball. Pulls comfortably and slowly the ball races to boundary well. First boundary on the board for Sharath and so does Stallions. Plan hasn't worked as they've got no man in the boundary right. Short ball dispatched it right in the back foot comfortably and that goes to the fence. Well, a single to finish the over. It's 9 with no loss after 2 overs. And meanwhile, I would like to thank a sponsor, co-sponsor KAMADENU Estates and co-sponsor Credit Bus. With all your efforts and with all your support, Hospital Premier League Season 10 going in a good way, as I need to mention. And I thank each and every title sponsor, each and every co-sponsors. Thank you, a big thanks. Meanwhile, Srikanth's second over starts with a boundary by Sharath. A beautiful shot down the ground that was right in front of the slot for him. Well, a bread and butter shot, keeping standing close right at the stumps to negotiate but that was in the slot to hit, and he hits it beautifully with no matter, and the ball goes to the boundary. Well, a second boundary for this man. Gets pretty decently and pretty comfortably and looks stylish too. Well, no change in the field, just a man wide long on, and sweepers were in the action in the boundary riding areas. Once again, round sloppy fielding there, and the ball slowly racing to the boundary. Yes, the ball wins the race. Consecutive boundaries, a 2-in-2 for Sharath. Left-hand batter, a promising batter for Stallions, as I need to mention that right in the back foot. Tries just only a single there. A sloppy fielding by Captain Kanaya, which leads for a boundary. Well, 17 already on the board. Just 85 is what required for Stallions from now on. Down the ground, a powerful shot that races to the boundary. Straight like an arrow. Beautiful display of batting from this man, Sharath. He's making no mistake there. See off all those balls, which was right to hit. Once again, that was right in the slot. That goes like a bullet for a boundary. No one could stop the ball, which comes from the bat of Sharath. That was from the middle of the bat. Well, followed by a dot to finish the over. 25 with no loss after 3 overs. Well, a change in bowling. It's Ram Mohan, the one change bowler. Comes straight away into the attack. Starts with the dot ball. Steps out at this time. Well, 3 in 3 dot balls. In fact, make it 4 in 4 dot balls. Now Srinath is trying something new, which ending up in a dot. 4 dot balls. Ram Mohan. Full toss it is. Opens his blade. Sharath arguing with Srinath as the ball goes straight to the deep third man, asking for a couple, but nevertheless a walking single, a comfortable single. Now which brings the left hand batter Sharath onto the strike. So just one run of the 4th over comes to an end. It's 26 with no loss after 4 overs. Change in bowling once again. Giri comes into the attack from the credit buzz end. The pavilion end too starts with a single, which brings Sharath once again onto the strike. The left hand batter, quite change in the field for him. Long off, goes back, covers, and sweeper comes in. Mid off comes in, deep mid wicket goes back. Let's wait what Sharath is doing up to with the field. Just a tap onto the pads for a single. Changed the strike. Left and right combination is not as easy to bowl. Steps out this time. Long on, fielder in an action. And that goes over the fence. A maximum. In fact, just fall short in front of the boundary. Well, good intent from this man. Gopi this time steps out with no mercy. Sharath. Thus just falls short in front of the boundary line. Srinath, a promising start with that boundary. Driven comfortably for a single. With that boundary, 32 partnership comes between both these batters, Sharath and Srinath so far. So single to finish the over. Now it's 34 with no loss after 5 overs. which brings once again Ram Mohan into the attack. Just given a single run in his last over previously for the final over of the power play to face Sharath and Srinath so far. Down the ground, powerful shot. 2 is the call. Over covers. And the ball racing to the boundary with the beautiful football skills, gets a couple of runs. Beautiful ball from Ram Mohan. Not letting those easy runs to come from his over, from his spell so far. Just given 7 runs. Right, for the last over, last ball of the power play. Down the ground. Back and across from that man, Srinath. So single to finish the over. It's 41 after power play. Well, now power play is done and dusted. Stallions have scored 41 with no loss. Good promising start by these two openers. Yes, 61 is what required for Stallion 11s. Outside edge, catches the call, puts it down. Man at point, puts an easy catch down. Would be a first breakthrough right after the power play. Srinath, the man, gets straight away a life. Steps out this time, not middling the ball comfortably, but nevertheless gets a single. In the air, catches the call, just falls short in front of the fielder at deep mid wicket. So a dot ball to finish the 7th over. It's 45 with no loss. The Stallions 11s were in a comfortable position. In the air, catches the call. Good diving effort in the end. Outside edge, straight into the hands of keeper Srinath. And comes to an end. Srinath's batting comes to an end. 15. Well, first wicket falls for Stallions. 46 with the loss of 1. Srinath has to walk back in a smiling way. Nevertheless, that was a tickle from the bat of Srinath, and he has to walk back. Giri strikes the first wicket that was on outside edge into the hands of keeper. In fact, it's Anil who's picked the wicket early on. Now it's 46 with the loss of 1 for Stallions. In comes the number 3 batter Dushyant to join Sharad, the left-hand batter, in the middle for the rest of the chase. Just 56 is what required, slightly touching the 5 runs per over required run rate. Inside edge, living dangerously, Sharad there. Meanwhile, Dushyant's off the mark. The very first ball he has faced in Anil's second over so far. Well, a happy dugout of Stallions 11s, as we can see. This 54 is what required from now on. Well, 4 runs and a wicket in the 8th over of Anil's first over comes to an end. 48 with the loss of 1. In fact, 49 with the loss of 1 after 8 overs. Well, a dot ball to finish the over. After 9 overs, Stallions has scored 53 with the loss of 1. And they've just needed 49 runs to win a comprehensive victory over Liv Young. A pretty happy and calm, composed dugout, and the players of Stallions, as we can see, they're cooling down all their other things in the end, which brings Anil once again a good quality leg spinner, as I've need to mention. He's given just 4 runs in his first over early on and picked a wicket, a first wicket. In the air for so long time, a 1 bounce, and that goes to the fence. Well, after a couple of overs, a boundary right on the back foot, dispatched it over cow corner region for a boundary. The shot in front of the boundary line. Dushyant gets a boundary. In fact, his first boundary, played almost 9 deliveries. Now 10 for 10 was his stat so far in this match of Stallions versus Liv Young, match number 20 of Hospital Premier League Season 10. Now just 42 is what required for Stallions. Well, left all alone. Well, a quite interesting call. No ball. That's fall. Couple of bounces and reaches the batter. So 2 bounces, which gets a no ball. So free delivery for Dushyant, right on the back foot, and that goes over the fence. A maximum to finish the over. He does it in style. Stallions 11's batter Dushyant. After that maximum, end of 10, 67 with the loss of 1. It's time for drinks. Well, from Kamadenu Estate end, it's Giri with his last over. It was pretty economical. Has given just 16 runs. Under 5 is what his economy in this match so far. Well, to face Sharad there, starts with a dot straight into the hands of keeper. Steps out this time over the fence, over bowler's head. In fact, 1 bounce and that goes to the fence. A beautiful shot of execution from Sharath. Quickly moves to 38. Well, he wants to finish the things as early as possible. As Sap this time dancing down the ground, not letting the ball to turn, and that goes to the fence. Full toss this time, the vacant cow corner area. Couple of bounces. Once again that goes to the fence. Consecutive boundaries by Sharath at the deep mid wicket this time. He's not making things to settle. 2 boundaries. 2 times he steps out. 1 time he used his feet, and seconds swept comfortably to the boundary line at the vacant cow corner and deep mid wicket area. Followed by a late cut protection at sweeper. Gets only a single in the end, which brings a Dushyant onto the strike to face Giri for a couple of balls. And the partnership quickly moves to 30. A paper score partnership by both these batters, who is displayed brilliant right from the ball 1. Catches the call, and he gets his man. A man with a 7, jersey number 7, Sriman Reddy. At long off, wide long off, takes a man. Giri strikes. Dushyant has to walk back. A second wicket falls for Stallions. Beautifully bowled by Giri. Under pressure has conceded almost 7 runs, but nevertheless he gets his man. After a promising start, Dushyant has to walk back. In comes the new batter Ganesh. So far the opener in the last match which he has played, a big man. 26 is what required for so on. As we can see, that was right to hit on the slot. Sriman, a couple of fumbles and straight takes the catch comfortably in the end. So second wicket falls for Stallions. It's 76 with the loss of 2, which brings Ganesh, another opener, onto the crease. So 9 runs and a wicket straight away. 76 with the loss of 2 after 11 overs. Well, Kanaya to continue. Straight catches the call. And the ball races to the boundary. Sharath says, welcome to the bowling. After so long time, mate. Welcomes with a boundary. First boundary. At the very first ball of Kanaya's captain. Right from the bat of Sharath. He moves to 47 with no time. Using the bowler's face, just guided it to the short third man fielder for a dot ball. Quite interesting field setup, as we can see. Onto the back foot, short mid wicket in an action. Chance to steal another run in the end, gets a dot. Once again, consecutive dot balls by Kanaya right after that boundary at the very first ball from him. Well, his 22 is what required for Stallions from now on. Flighted delivery, deceived completely by the batter. Good piece of bowling so far from this man. Pulled his length very beautifully and very quickly. Catches the call, a wide long of fielder in an action, one bounce into his hands. So 3 boundaries, so 3 dot balls followed by a single now, which brings Ganesh, the new man, to face Kanaya, captain of Liv Young. Well, cuts it comfortably. Protection there at sweeper. Gets a couple of runs, opened his account with that beautiful cut shot down the ground. Well, 7 runs coming of that over by Kanaya, which gets 83 on the board, 83 with the loss of 2 after 12 overs. Opened his face into the hands of sweeper for a single. Well, now Sharath is on a 49, just a shot away for his milestone. And with that cut, he gets his 50. Under pressure, delivers beautifully 50 on to him for his name, Sharath. Beautiful execution of batting display. 8 boundaries so far, which he has faced. Leading under pressure, and he's delivering beautifully. Leg lines unoffered. Quick call though, but nevertheless gets only a single in the end. As I need to mention, congratulations to Sharath, the man who's been brilliant with the bat. Low scoring matches are meant to be very tough in the end. From now on, 15 is what required for Stallions. Well, last ball to finish the 13th over. Beaten there completely. Edges and edges, 2 hands of the keeper. Karthik makes no mistake there. Appreciation straight away from each and every player of Liv Young. Right after the 50 which he has scored by Sharath, he gets out. Karthik makes no mistake. 3rd wicket falls for Stallions. It's 87 with the loss of 3 after 13 overs. Well, 4 runs and a wicket for Ram Mohan. Outside edge, tries to cut, but nevertheless, good ball from the man. He gets straight into the wickets column with that wicket of Sharath, who's been brilliant with the bat. Now it's Vamshi Vasukula, who's joined the party with Ganesh out in the middle. From now on, just 15 is what required. Now Kanaya coming diagonal. Pretty interesting from this man. Driven to perfection for a single. Wide long off fielder in an action. In comes the new batter onto the crease and onto the strike. Vamshi to face captain Kanaya. 15 runs is what are given in 13 deliveries so far. Well followed with a good straight batted defense. Once again, it's Ram Mohan with his last over. Has been successful early on in his third over. Gets a wicket of Sharad, the well-set batsman. From now, 12 is what required for Stallions. Of 6 overs to be precisely bowled. But I'm pretty sure they'll make it as soon as possible, as early as possible by Ganesh and Vamshi so far. On the pad, straight away, tries for a flick. Bottom hand in an action, but nevertheless hitting the pads first. So first ball dot. Straight in the air, catches the call. Who wants it? I think it would be a decision for the third umpire, if I'm not wrong there. Nevertheless, there was a good, lovely stop from the man, Sriman Reddy. Almost saved 5 runs for his team. Gets only a single in the end. A beautiful stop from Sriman Reddy, jersey number 7 at wide, long off. Good presence of mind, has exactly know where the boundary rope is and pull the ball back into the game. Drives this time, protection there, deep point in an action. Not giving those boundaries with an ease. In the air for so long time, and the ball races to the boundary. Nevertheless, Sriman Reddy man in the screen saving almost those boundaries and not giving those boundaries to for the Stallions batsmen. A couple of runs to finish the 15th over. It's 93 with the loss of 3. Catch is the call. A huge shout from the captain Kanaya with his last over. Starts with a single, and with that a couple of runs early on in that previous over by Ram Mohan. Target comes with a single digits. Just 8 is what required. Now make it 7 with that white. Cuts and cuts to perfection, and the ball races to the boundary as the ball wins the race. With that boundary, scores are level. Just 1 run is what required for Stallions. Beautiful shot, width unoffered, slightly far away from the outside off stump, and cuts it beautifully. Uses the popping crease pretty decently. In the end, that races to the boundary. Well, scores are level for Stallions and Liv Young. Well, with that friendly is full toss, and that races slowly to the boundary. In fact, that stops the boundary, but nevertheless they've ran a single where Stallions have won the match comfortably with 7 wickets. A beautiful match comes to an end.